Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here, as you guys can see up on the screen. Today I want to talk a little bit about Sofi Technologies Incorporated. Once again, this is ticker symbol SOFI, the exact same name as the company. And today was a weird day for Sofi. You can see they opened green, kind of traded up and down for a while, and then went way down. I mean, let's see exactly how much they dropped. They dropped 3%. In like 25 minutes. I mean, that's a pretty significant drop in that short amount of time. But then as the day went on, they just kind of slowly gained that all back and ended up ending the day 1% up. After hours, they're down 0.84%, but after hours, I wouldn't really read too much into that. It's probably going to change tomorrow. But overall, an interesting day for Sofi, but in the end, they only end 1% up. And when we look around the rest of the stock market, Dow Jones up 1.02, S&P up 1.4, Nasdaq up 1.93, Russell up 1.13. This was a good day for the stock market overall. Not an insane day, not a crazy day, but a good day. And Sofi was underperforming some of these indices. So yeah, I don't know. Overall, just a solid day for a lot of the stock market and for Sofi. But there is still plenty to talk about, and that's what we're going to be doing in this video today, going over all the latest for Sofi stock. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that a ton. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Of course, as always, there's going to be no financial advice in this video. I'm not telling you guys to buy, not telling you guys to sell, nothing like that. Just going over the news and giving some of my thoughts and opinions. So with that being said, let's get right into this. Sofi still have an overall very good week, up 6% in the past 5 trading days. Still down 11% on the month, and year to date we are still down right around 40%. 2022 has been rough, and hey, these 1% days, they're fine. They're gonna add up eventually. It's nice to be in the green, especially when you're down 40% year to date. That's obviously a lot of red days. That's a lot of significantly red days. But I know a lot of people holding Sofi and a lot of people who are down very, very significantly on this stock. We're not much off the 52-week low. So pretty much if you bought Sofi ever, you're probably down at least a little bit. It's not like they're going to be getting too excited about 1% up days. They're looking for, 4, 5, 10% up days, stuff like that. But hey, it's a start. It's at least something. Some of the latest news for Sofi on the Sofi stock subreddit, people talking about overall just Anthony Noto, the CEO of Sofi, obviously his buying in the month of March. And they say here, Noto himself has bought roughly $1.2 million of Sofi stock in March of 2022 alone, plus a few other insiders. I know we had talked about, I think one of their directors and stuff like that. They had some people buying. And they say here, insiders sell stocks for a variety of reasons, whether it be personal expenses, tax expenses, or of course, loss of faith in the company. And this is like a famous quote, right here that they're saying. But there's only one reason insiders buy, because they believe it's going to go up. Now, again, whenever people sell, yes, a ton of people overreact to that. Like, oh, they're selling, this is it. This is the top. It's going down from here, yada, yada, yada. But no. Especially people high up in the company, obviously they get a bunch of shares, and at some point they need money themselves. Shares don't pay the bills. Shares don't buy a new house. Shares don't buy a new car. So sometimes you sell off just to have some extra money, to have some extra cash, and sometimes you do sell if you think the top is in or whatever, and it's just all downhill from there. But like they said, the only reason you buy, especially significant amounts of money. Now, the argument is like, what's $1.2 million to Anthony Noto? And like, hey, that's a fair point, but still, rich people don't like losing money. He's not throwing around $1.2 million if he thinks, Sofi is some kind of sinking ship, or if he thinks it's going to trade flat or go up a little bit. Like, he's buying those if he thinks Sofi is going to go up significantly in the next couple of years. Now, he obviously does not have a short time horizon. He's in this thing for the long run. So who knows when, he's going to see a return on investment on this stuff, whether it be 2, 3, 5, 10 years, whatever. And obviously certain investors are going to want to see their gains come in a little bit faster, especially, again, when they've been beaten down so badly over the past couple of months. But I think this is a great sign that Anthony Noto and a ton of the other insiders are buying, because like they say here, there's one reason you buy, and that's if you think this thing's going up. He's trying to get a nice return on his money. So I think this is very, very good. And to see the amount of money and people that, see the amount that people are buying in is really, really cool. Top comment here, I'm going to follow Noto's lead in 5 years. This will be a nice 3 to 5x. He's also demonstrated he is confident in the management of his company. So I mean, I don't know. This is something we've been covering a lot this month, but it's cool to see it again, just how much throughout all of March. And he's gotten some really, really great prices. I mean, when you zoom out a little bit on SoFi and you see the ranges this thing is traded in, 25, 23, 22, and you know that Noto's buying at like 7, 8, 9. If this thing goes to 15, 20, 25, any time in the next couple of years, like Noto is going to be making money hands over fist on his shares that he's bought within the last couple of months. And I know that excites a lot of other investors as well. And again, I just think it's a good sign. I'd rather have my insiders buying than selling if I had to pick one or the other, obviously. We also have this, people talking about what are the odds of student loans being delayed in May or even canceled, and what impact will this have on SoFi's revenue estimates? This is something people have been talking about all the time. They say they've heard rumors that Biden is planning to cancel up to $1.8 trillion of student loan debt. Obviously, this would not be good for SoFi, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, I mean, this is something that Anthony Noto and a lot of people at SoFi have touched on a ton. They say either way, they're going to be fine. Now, the sooner the student loan moratorium gets lifted, the sooner SoFi can start making money off of the loans that they've refinanced and continue to get more loans refinanced and add to the amount of money they're capable of making. It's not going to be a bad thing for SoFi. They're going to be making more money. It's going to be an overall net positive for them, but yeah, I mean, obviously SoFi and Noto and all these guys are frustrated with the kind of lack of focus and lack of leadership and lack of direction that's been going on with the whole student loan situation. So they've prepared for the worst. They are prepared for this thing to get delayed once again, for it to get pushed back once again. And if it gets lifted come May 1st, then it's going to be a happy surprise. It's going to be extra money on that balance sheet, but it's not anything that SoFi is relying on. It's not going to be make or break for SoFi, and that's a decision I love, and that's a direction that I love for SoFi, and I love that they are making that decision because, yes, we've heard a couple different times like, hey, guys, this is it. This is when the moratorium's getting lifted. You're going to have to start paying it back. And then they delay it, and then they push it back, and then they delay it. It just keeps happening time and time again. Fool me once, fool me twice, whatever. This is like getting fooled the fourth or fifth time. So if it does get pushed back again, don't be surprised, but also understand it would be nice for SoFi, but it's not make or break. But yeah, nobody really knows anything at this point except for, maybe politicians, maybe Biden. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. This guy shares some technical analysis. He says, looks like my shares are safe for now. $10 covered calls expiring this week. After this week, depending on where we end, if I still have my shares, not sure if I want to push selling calls at such close range. Might buy some puts to hedge against a massive downturn to the $7 area. Hoping, but markets don't give a shit about your hopes. This thing pushes towards $13 in May. So that's at least what one guy's looking at. A $13 price target in May. That's a little bit over a month from now. And again, right now we're sitting at 947. So there's a ton of people selling puts. There's a ton of people selling calls. Everyone, it seems like, has a different price target in the short term, in the long term. But that's at least kind of what one person is taking a look at right now. And then we also have this, an interesting comparison of SoFi's stock price with other growth companies and mature companies. And highlights of the comparison made in this article is that SoFi traded below 3 times sales in the recent sell-off. Considering that the company will likely expand revenues by more than 50% this year, the valuation looks cheap. Moreover, SoFi has a great deal of growth ahead, and the stock will likely move much higher in future years. Versus other growth companies, which SoFi is obviously a growth company. Palantir, another high-profile growth company, trades at about 13 times forward sales. Affirm trades at about 7.5 2022 revenue expectations. Upstart trades around 7.5 times 2022 sales estimates. DocuSign trades at about 8 times forward sales. And The Trade Desk trades at about 20 times forward sales. Now, if you compare this to other mature technology companies, Microsoft trades at 11 times forward sales. Netflix trades around 5.5 times, even after its huge downturn recently. Nvidia, 18 times, and PayPal, about 5 times, but it's still more expensive than SoFi. So this leaves, people thinking that there is a lot of room for SoFi to run in the future, and we'll have to see how that all plays out. But I did think it was interesting and wanted to share it with you guys. But that is pretty much everything for this video today. Definitely drop a like if you do enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about SOFI. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.